to look at general discussion. We just want to look at politics in the sphere of what is happening in Liberia, looking at the U.S. sanction on the country. I say the country, not the country per se, but on few individuals within the country. But the targeted individuals is very strategic. So if you look at that sanction, it speaks volume of issues, and it determines what is going to be like for the next 2, 3 years. It's like the international partners are trying to set the course for everyone to follow. Because Liberians likely, I'm not sure if Liberian are able to change the course, the way in which politics were being carried out. People were becoming like superhumans. Actions were being taken without the least courtesy, that people were leading human beings. People were leading of almost 5 million persons in that country. It's not a pleasure for anyone to see anybody being punished. But when it comes to the well-being of the people, that is paramount. That is concerning. And that is the primary reason why people occupy public offices. So we can pretend about this. All right, we can pretend about this. As unique as it is to enjoy state resources, as unique as it is to serve in political power, to serve in political positions, you must be aware that there are times, you will not be allowed to occupy the position. Since 1847, Liberia being in existence, there have been presidents. Every time you had a president, all of the positions that people are occupying, people have occupied those positions before. So it is mistaken if anybody thinks look, it is my time, so I can do anything I want to do. Even besides the US government's action, sometimes Liberians themselves, they get fed up. When they get fed up, they take action. Sometimes the action they took, like the 1990 war, when people got fed up with the Dole regime, other people decided to say, look, Chancellor alone could not have, succeeded in carrying war in that country. But if a government get grounded so much and it cannot easily be removed by elections, then people take other options. This time around, it's just a sanction. The sanction is not, it's not a sanction on the entire country, right? But the structure of the current government is like a targeted sanction. Is like people are being characterized on the basis of their involvement in certain actions. The detail is not released, and we look up to the Weah's government and see what Weah himself will prove his leadership in how he handled this crisis. I call it crisis because you can pretend all you want to, but the structure of the Weah's government, the way in which it was George Weah, Nathaniel McGill, Samuel Twe, how you call this boy? The Jefferson Koji, and few other persons. So when there is a sanction, now it is the right of the government can decide to ignore the US sanction, right? They can decide to ignore it. But it'd be more dangerous if they did that, because the people get aware of strengthening the sanction. So the first sanction, the way you behave, the thing you do, they can revisit the sanction. They say, okay, look, these people get loopholes. We're going to strengthen the sanction. We're going to tighten the belt. You know, when we get the smaller waist, if you tie the belt and you put it on one hole and your trouser is still coming down, you loosen it, you tighten it a little bit until it can fit on you properly. So it's not a joy for anyone. I mean, wisdom speaks like God, the divine, knows how he handles his own situation. So nobody can work for God. Some of us who are believers, right? It is not in the strength of any man. Liberians in their own mind could not do what is going on. In the same vein, those who are under sanction, they are under obligation to fight it. Sanction can be removed, but it depends on compliance. It depends on those who are involved, how they take it. I'm hearing that some people are even challenging, and people are saying, "Oh man, the U.S. government try to, backlash the U.S. government." And so that's the wrong thing to do. The mistake you made since you got to power, if you keep making it and this sanction, you also add that to your mistakes, then you run into other problems. That one is easier for these people. They want to start. The U.S. government will not just put a sanction and think they're going to just don't care. So do it any kind of way. And individual sanctions are always different. The way they approach it, you just don't know that. So nobody will say, "Oh yeah, sanction beyond the post. So what? We're still living. We're still doing that." Be mindful. When they find that people are stubborn, then the entire country could run into some problem. When they start tightening sanctions, maybe they say, okay, they don't make sure you don't have much economic activities in the country there, all those stuff. Then you guess what? LeBron can't stand no kind of tension, right? They don't want to be an upheaval. People will rise up. So what is important this morning is looking at try to cross our eyes on we as government. We don't have any specific topic yet to discuss this morning, but we want to look at the we as government. What are some of the mistakes that they made? Why did we come this far? The main thing is song is that cassava leaf is not for gold alone. It's for everybody. Government position not for one person. This is, I think the we as government had a perfect time to showcase. And if you look at it technically, we will not blame we blame all of these folks who went to school with us who we thought would have done better or could have guided him in doing the right thing. All right. But a lot of things that's going on when we want to look at things, human rights abuses, deaths, people, getting killed, and you wonder what's going on. And sometimes even the leader himself, he doesn't really put his feet down. So, and you have embassies around Liberia. So it's not like we don't care. It's all about, we that have power, we must control it. Yes, even the sanction, you can make a decision to say, well, we're not going to respect the sanction. The US government can make a decision. Now, the important issues that we're watching for is, firstly, the sanction are being imposed. And those who impose the sanction, whether they're targeting other persons, we don't know that. So we're watching out for that. Action from the US government itself. We has taken a step that is I think that is welcoming. To have suspended those folks, I think it's prudent. Now, when we're talking to somebody, will say, "Oh, the people are happy." It's not about being happy. I mean, a government thing. It's not about friendship. It's not about other things. So, if we are suspended, people are watching out for the positions that those people occupy. Those people still in those positions. And as a lawyer, I know that these people are not being found guilty. But the seriousness that the government will we apply, we give reason for those who place the sanction to relax the sanction. But if for any reason, for example, if this individual will keep being in their positions and they go to work, even though they're suspended, taking pay every month and they take their pay. We didn't say that they were suspended without pay. So that means these people are still working. They will take pay at the end of every month. And taking pay is, even if people get money, I mean, that pay is nothing for anybody to talk about. But if those who place the sanction are monitoring, they know that these folks are still going to work, or they're still doing some, they're still playing the major role in a governance process. Nobody's going to bother them. In fact, the U.S. government cannot say they shouldn't work. It is we are government that make that decision whether these people shouldn't work or they should work. All right, but that sanction has disoriented even the Weir himself. I'm not sure Mange would have been sanctioned. Everything that Mange may have done, it might have been at the acquiescence of the president himself or the minister of finance, because I don't know how Mange would have withdrawn money without the finance minister affixing his signature to a process voucher, to the stage where it comes to a check that is signed by the controller general and then the money is released. So when you look at the way the financial system works, except where maybe kickbacks, all right, but other than that, if it is money in the system that Mange took advantage of in whatever way, it's not possible for all of the financial managers of the government not to be in the know. So when you look at it generally, you can only say no. I know there are names still pending, but the people would have decided to paralyze the government in a case. So that could be one of the major reasons why they couldn't come up with a long list of individuals. All right. So we watch out for those things, and we watch out for compliance. Those two who are named, they can fight a sanction. Some persons will just maybe something crazy around this morning. All right. Maybe some person may not have, they may just be prepared to provide more clarity. Out of those who were reporting, let's assume that they never got correct information and somebody is sanctioned and decided to request for information and know how to file your own case. You can do that and be able to reach a very good, if you can be appealing sufficiently, those who are coordinating this sanction will be able to relax the sanction or can remove the sanction. But those who want to take the arrogant approach, like for example, we saw a few young people in the street demonstrating, right? What a sanction, those Sanction will vote for George Weir. Now, those folks wouldn't get in the street. The partners believed that's a strategy, and they will squarely believe that it's government strategy to counter the sanction. If you see young folks with printed banner and in the street saying, "Oh, what a sanction! Those Sanction will vote for Weir." That means that you're challenging those. America is a superpower. So why would anybody in their right mind will even be thinking that we're a small country? You want to think about that way, or you want to be arrogant. You want to think like, oh, but we are a country by ourselves. Yeah, you are a country by yourself. You can operate. But just be aware of the consequences. And go to the extreme, the people will suffer along with you. And that's what some bad leaders will do. I wouldn't suffer this. So it is important that you begin to look at the country from a different direction. From now to the end of this year until next election, the real government needs to be more serious than ever before. I think this is no more time to go to studio, you know, because if you did not sense it, it has come to the point where you are seeing it with your own eye, you're feeling it. Because when it's affecting one of your own that you rely on, then of course you feel it. So in this kind of a situation, the best that you need to do is, I'm wondering the government, whether the government itself has even a strategy. So that we say those things, people make to whatever. When last they were met, this is something that requires a cabinet meeting, right? Even though there was individual people affected. But it affects the entire government. So the first thing that they would have done here, call a cabinet meeting. You call a cabinet meeting, you discuss what is it like. Now, I'm not sure whether these people even are being rubbish should we are himself. I don't think whether you have been rubbing showed us sufficiently with some international partner. You take a phone and call them and say, oh, what is happening? What is this? You know, you showcase. But if the US ambassador um, accepted or advised or agreed for the sanction, it means he has seen a lot. He has seen more evidence, pieces of evidence is overwhelming. So he just have to consider it. These people are there to work. I listened to the ambassador, his 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 um his press conference in the disclosure of the sanction information. I think it was more cordial. But we always say these people are diplomats, and there were some of our young people or our leaders make some big mistake. You don't read beyond having Keller say, read the minds of the public. Even you talking to Jensen will be talking to something, you have something different in his mind. So what you want to do, you want to understand what is it in his mind that he's not speaking of. So you have to try to discover what is it. Or somebody coming to play tennis with me today. Why are we going to be playing tennis for? Is it just for a fun fair or what is it like? Or oh, I have a chance to go to the US to the US. I'm going to be among African leaders. What is it can I do? Sometimes you overlook too, right? Let's assume you call a cabinet meeting and throw this out to all of the officials and say, look, guys, I want you to discuss this thing. I want an open-minded discussion. Idea can come from anywhere. That could be a better idea that you could, that could help you to make a name out there. But a few persons think that they are the super brains, and nobody else. But when they speak, that's it. Then that's what the mistakes have been. And I hope you will be able to correct those situations. When you have an organization, you must open the organization up for people to have suggestions and make some recommendations. Like that, you can have a better, successive programs rather than sitting and think that you super one person is just the brain. No, it's not possible. It doesn't work that way. So we pity the situation, but Liberian public interest come first. People up to this time, they don't have good drinking water. The roads are still bad. And to get people who become millionaire overnight, we think as good as it is for people to prepare for themselves, but people should have done it in a very discreet way, in an intent to protect, the country resources. All right. So we look up to what is unfolding. We're going to be following development, the news, the civil society organizations. Like the ambassador said, they are not. The U.S. embassy is not going to be deciding this is the president Liberian people should vote for. All they have done is they have their role to play. Taking U.S. and Liberia ties, they're not playing. I mean, the best they have done is to serve as a very good diplomat that will look and watch out for Liberia. So all Liberia need to do is find the right leaders that rub shoulder with them. That's all you need. Find people committed, people who mean well, people who are selfless, people who don't after money for themselves, people who want to get rich quicker. When you find people who are sincere, people who are honest, people who don't want, people who don't have greed, people who don't see, look, this is my time to chop, this is my time to get what I've not gotten before. Sometimes we can wonder this life, how long you want to live for? If you get 5 million, 10 million, all those things, when other people are suffering, what good is it? How long you want to live for? How long? I don't wonder for how long we're going to live for. I doubt if people of our ages, anybody can live for another 50 years, right? Except by the real extra grace of God. So what you want to get all these things? All people should fight for. You get good status, you're able to manage your life, you find food to eat, get place to sleep, you have children going up well and all those stuff. That's all people need. The rest of it, work for humanity. New state resources, do what you need to do. Not they have hazard development because you the kind of a pretense, that's not what it's supposed to be. Everybody need to understand that society, Liberia can get better. Liberia could be a developed country that people will fight almost every year to go to Liberia for vacation and do other stuff. People find around the world will want to go to Liberia. But the current status, no, it's not like that. It's not. So we just want to caution everybody. Now, the name we have is Mangale, Cephas, and Bill Twawe, right? But it's not these people. These people are just a minute of those who are being, if I may use borrower, people who have been squandering the resources of the country. There are many, and people that you don't even think about. If they say we are God to say what you're calling for audit of all the institutions, and decide to clean his own house, many heads will roll. If I were, maybe that's what I would have done. When you give the international partners, you tell them, so we're ready for business. Clean your own house. Don't let them bring even the second section, second list. Clean your own house. Call the General Auditing Commission, say, you know what, this is the whole corruption noise is too much now. I want a clean slate of my government. Audit from top to bottom. Anybody, I don't want a scented thing. Do a comprehensive audit and do it within a period of 1 month time. Give me the report. If you were to do that, trust me, probably the people have their second list, they will say, okay, they will take time how to release that list. Okay, this man, I think he's doing something well. But if all the people think just maybe the kind of people get around you that will be giving advice. Some people say, oh, man, they put on money, that's just what to do. That's what to do. So we're not going to, they don't pay here to that. Let's do what we're supposed to do. You might get caught up. You don't have time already for next election, before next election. So this is not a time to take anything for a ride. Another thing I will say to you guys is that the media is helping you guys a lot. Some people see it like people who hate the government. But the more you even just get in the morning, just watch the different podcasts all around the place, you can formulate a policy agenda for a day or for a week or for a month. Because people are speaking on almost every issue. So all you need to do is just watch out. You get pieces of advice. People can say in a very rough way. Some people can do it in an abusive ways and what have you. But just send them maybe your strategist or people who are there to advise or to craft policy document. When listening to all of this, they be able to write some pieces of information and be able to guide leaders. So this is not something that people should sit and just think, okay, you know what has happened? How long they will go? It will soon end. you know. So we look up to you. How you're going to handle it? Liberia must get better, and you can still get on course. Nobody's going to be happy because other people are being, the Bible doesn't help people to do these things. You rejoice because of other people's nightmare. But if you look at it technically too, when you were taking action at the detriment of the majority of the people, you should have reminded yourself, right? As we said again, we can't place a blanket situation, but just because of where the sanction is coming from, that's what we're speaking about. We're speaking. But we know that if we are decides, he can decide to really investigate this thing, and he can even expand it by calling for a comprehensive audit of his government. Or you could say, well, let's live in their lives. Like people, well, we get one more year, almost 1 more year to go to election. We manage ourselves and see what we do. So in short, you can pull up your own course. You guys can do it. I'll call a cabinet meeting for you, start to discuss the issues and see where you go from there. The political process is not, if everybody in that government was sincere, you have well-educated people in government. So everybody very sincere, they would advise, even the few persons who have their own handicap, they would have set the country on course. But this sycophantic behavior is too much in this government. People pretend too much. Nobody want to speak truth to power. So because of that, and it's small thing happening affect the entire government. There's just monitor the media just a few days. You will know how hurt Liberians are. It's not to hit anybody, but the way people were proceeding, Liberia just got fed away, but it just reached a point where they felt that they had no alternative. They couldn't bring war, they couldn't take any action, so they just let him to go the way we're going. And you people probably were not checking yourself or not monitoring to know how Liberians feel. But just watch social media on the sanction. Listen to comments. You might just come to realize that, hey, people are just not happy with the government. So what do you do as a government? You went for retreat. That retreat, whether there was any resolution, nobody saw it. All you do, you want to have some good time, all this you came out of it. Retreat in it. There's no one resolution that even you had to convince the public. You're not working for yourself, you're working with Liberian people. So if you go that retreat, how much you spend it, nobody know it. So what did he do? What was the resolution that came from that retreat that you use as point, for maybe to restructure your how do you call it, the proper agenda and other things to see what are those things you need to do from now to next year election. So if you didn't do any major adjustment, then why did you go for a retreat? I'm saying that because at this time you should be able to have some, I don't know whether you're going to have cabinet meetings or you're going to have, senior government official meeting to decide the way forward in the manner of, how. Don't see this as just an individual sanction, right? It's a serious issue. I call it donor, Joe Biden's special assistant I wanted Liberia for that independent deal. She spoke about, massive corruption in the U.S. government. Ambassador Greenfield spoke about it. Ambassador McCarthy always be on it. And so you should have known the seriousness of where they were coming from. That's where you are. You have a government. You still have a responsibility. Your strategy that you develop or that you will engage might just work well for you if you use, or don't bring any single fans in your discussion. Those who say, "Oh, Baku, you strong. Baku, you strong. Baku, you strong." No, they want not Baku time yet. It's not a time for anybody to say, "Go to the studio, go bring another new song." This is time for seriousness. Look at it very seriously. Make some decision. Make some adjustment. You can overcome these things in a short period of time. You is 1 year is sufficient for you to do some other stuff. When you start doing something very serious, like people will see it. If you don't notice it, if there was a survey, if your people were doing survey, you will realize that Liberian, that decision you took, President Weir, to have suspended those people, your rating went up a little bit. You know, if Liberia was a country where people like they being monitoring or being doing a serious survey on your workings, this decision you took to suspend people is not a job for anybody, but the way things were proceeding, to just suspend them, even the suspension is questionable, but just that decision alone that you took, it got you a little bit, your rate went up a little bit. So when you're taking some more hard decisions, that's what happened. That's how people become more respected within the Lebanon community and international partners start looking with some seriousness. But if people doing things, like people are crying, you don't take no action. Some people, you don't have to wait. Even somebody is fun. You as president of the country get a right to dismiss anybody at will. I wouldn't advise that though. Anybody doing something, there must be a reason. You can find a reason why you dismiss somebody. Or you want to reshuffle your government because the way things are going, you reshuffle your government. That's another approach you could take. Reshuffle your entire government. Take someone twice saying to some other place. You take all the other people and you put them in places. There are some Liberians who still will want to get in your government to help and strengthen the government. Some people will not want to because the timing. You should have gone halfway into your government and reshuffle your entire government. You are giving Liberians, you all don't study how people get engaged in this public discussion and how, public opinion works on some of these policy issues. If you are going halfway with your government, you reshuffle your government with all the noise are going about. People start thinking, okay, the other person, let's see what the person is going to do. Or let's see what the person is going to do. But you didn't do that. You thought that the team that you have, they're just perfect. They're the best people. But you didn't even care to read the minds of the international partners, what they were saying, what they were planning to do. All right. So basically, that's what we have for you this morning. We don't have any major thing. We just thought to throw light on what is going on. You get like on course. You're not going to do any major thing. You're not going to build hardware right now. I don't know whether the hardware you're preparing for that or there's something you're going to do on that. I don't know. So whether Labrador going to get a pipe of water before your tenure end, I don't know. The road connectivity, all the promises you made in the form and manner in which the promise was made in your first annual message to the legislature, we still don't think that you're going to achieve those things as you earlier planned. All right, howbeit, look among all your projects, your PDP or whatever you call it, Propo agenda, look into it. There might be some things they can achieve. They can give a good face to Liberian. The coastal highway, we're not going to do it now. It's not going to happen. All right. So you have to look into it. Just put your team together. Your strategic planners, put them together. Let it go make some of the decisions. You're looking at it. I need 5 bullet point projects that we can do. I'm talking about the other. Somebody go build some of those small places. Say, oh, you'll go break ground or you'll go dedication. That's what I'm talking about. Look at projects that will impact Liberians. Somebody I saw something say want to be another JFK. People can act like they're not giving good advice. You don't need to be another JFK. If I were to advise you, Mr. President, I would not tell you go be a new JFK. The one you have, make it up to standard. That's what you need to do. First and foremost, let JFK be a place. Let's say Jensen can say, oh man, I live in America. They put the things too expensive here. Let me go to Liberia and go take my treatment. But the structures that you have is not even up to standard. Then you say you want to be another one. The decision you make, some people, even when nothing appear in the paper, watch out for the way people discuss them. Whether it's going to be a better decision for you. Why would you want to be a new JFK? Why? The one you get, you don't get, all of the kind of, you don't get good doctors in the place. You don't get the medical facility. I'm not saying you don't get good doctors, you get good doctors, right? But you don't get the kind of facilities in there. That somebody, that even you, we can go there now. Something happened, and you say you carry the Jeff, you go to treatment. I bet you we had something serious happen there, you will not want to go over there yourself. You don't want to go to JFK. So why you want to build new JFK? For what reason? They don't show people empty building. Ellen built another place in Nimakante. They look at those things. Just be sincere with those things. If you want to get equipment, let it be a well-planned. Don't people go and grab some little second-hand thing from wherever the kind is and display anything. That's what you're doing. No. If you don't have the expert, call the expert. Say we want JFK to be. You can outsource it. Let it build it. Even right next to Ghana. You'll go in there, see what Ghanaians are doing. And come in and just make the place better. As soon as you do those things, then Liberians, they could be certified. But the way you go proceeding, everybody want to be millionaire in a short period of time. I think that's where all the mistakes came from. Somebody said, you don't get approved. You don't get approved. The way you do it, the international partners speaking, so we're just following through what they're saying. So the best I can do right now is to re-examine the entire government. And that's when they sit down and say, oh, wow, let's say that, man, Mangaya, you can be working behind the scene. When they post sanction on you, the thing to you don't know sometimes is the way they put money on you don't know it. Yeah, people say they're not even strategic in finding out how all this is going on. So the best you can do right now is do the most honorable thing. Do the thing that people can come and see what you're doing. Reshuffle the entire government. When you reshuffle the entire government, you give a different mindset. Even people start thinking how to start getting people to, I wonder how the person is going to work. Let's see how the person is going to work. Even if they have mistakes, people say, no, why the person just going into the new position. Like get 2-3 more. I mean, you even buying time into come to election. Maybe that person can do something too. So in short, you have to do the most presidential thing. Take charge. Don't go in studio for a low while now. That studio, the business, put it aside one small, put it aside small. And do some serious business. I know you will rely on Mangio. I know you're still working. Mangio is still working. He's just been suspended. But you're taking Sanction business seriously. If anybody advising a job where you want to play low on it, don't listen to that person. Just tell that person you just want to kill me now. So please go sit down somewhere else. Anybody that tell you say downplay that Sanction is not a better advice. Pay attention to it. It's not you specifically, but it's very likely they're putting that post sanction on you, because doing that, it will be like forcing Liberian people to overthrow the government. If sanction, for example, if this sanction was being placed on you, George, where people would have called you to step down, or even your friends at Alexis, they would have think about impeachment, even though they would not have the guts. I don't think that this current parliament would have done that. We would have been very serious. So nobody in the right mind would have done that. So don't see it like it is, a relief. All you need to do is take some serious steps, take some serious actions. Show to the international partners that you mean we're business, that you're going to take some serious steps. 2 things I would recommend. Reshuffle, do comprehensive audit of your entire government. Don't wait for the new government to kind of do it. You do the audit. If even the audit report don't do nothing with it, put it down, let the next government come and take the audit report and execute it. But don't leave those 2 things out. If you don't have any recommendation, that's my recommendation. Reshuffle your government. I don't say put my name there. I say reshuffle your government. You can take somebody from that plane, put it president, because somebody like President says, oh, look at them, they're looking for a job, right? No, me, I'm looking for a job. All I'm saying, reshuffle your government over there. Or whatever you want to do, whatever. You are in charge. Whether you're really in charge, this is a situation you're supposed to face, and make sure you do what you're supposed to do. Have better cabinet meeting. Just sit back, let them back, call your people now. Okay, guys, this is what is your take? What you think? Just speak freely. Take notes from that. From that, you can have a better way to go through it. You know, if you need to reshuffle, you reshuffle your government. You might probably win the admiration of the international partners. Okay, folks, we want to say thank you so much. Those of you who've been following up, we see Bisha has been following up. We have a few other persons here. They've been following. We say, well, this is two-way radar. We've been here. Nothing very serious this morning. We thought it wise to just caution and look at what is going on in Liberia when it comes to the sanction. When the sanction is there, the international partners that they are betting, they know what to do. Okay. Well, until then, today is Thursday. Until next week, we want to say thank you for following us. This has been Two-Way Radar. I am James Jensen. We're talking about sanction, conditions, situations in Liberia. How is it we are going to handle this sanction? How is it going to do the investigation? What is going to be their new course of action from this day forward? Those are things we've been talking about. And the two recommendations we're given. We have to reshuffle his government, and you should call for a comprehensive audit of his government. People say his government is corrupt. You shouldn't wait until people bring another long list outside. Let he himself go ahead and conduct an audit of his government. That'd be the best. You have the institution already set for that. You know. And yeah. So basically that's what we have for you tonight, today. And
Sweet kiss, our liver.